Hello and good afternoon. I'm Mohanapriya. Welcome to Updates at Noon. Now, the Sungai Semenyih and Bukit Tampoi water treatment plants LRA were forced to cease operations due to odour pollution. The odour pollution is believed to have originated from the Nilai Industrial Estate, Negeri Sembilan. As of 7:30 a.m. this morning, the two treatment plants are still not operational. According to Environment and Water Minister Datuk Sri Tuan Ibrahim Tuan Man, initial investigations found that the polluted water was flowing to Sungai Semenyih from Sungai Batang Benar, which is close to the industrial area.
Untuk makluman, isunya ialah isu pencemaran bau. Pencemaran bau ni kita tidak dapat notis awal. Hingga setakat ni kita tidak ada suatu alat untuk mengesan, tapi bila berlaku kita terpaksa tutup loji, dan sehubungan dengan itu pasukan penyiasat yang juga diketuai oleh Ketua Setiausaha Kementerian Air dan Alam Sekitar telah pun turun, dan kita telah mengenal pasti di antara puncanya yang sampai ke Sungai Batang Benar di kawasan perindustrian.
He said this during a media conference with Selangor Menteri Besar Datuk Sri Amiruddin Syahri after listening to a briefing from Air Selangor Sdn Bhd. Datuk Sri Tuan Ibrahim also said that water operators were waiting for the odour pollution to subside before the plant can operate again, and it's unknown how long the process will take. The water sample taken from Sungai Semenyih at 4:30 p.m. yesterday measured at 4 TON or threshold odour number and increased to 11 TON at 9 p.m. More than 300,000 consumers from the Petaling, Hulu Langat, Kuala Langat and Sepang districts are affected by the unscheduled water cut following the river pollution incident. Pengurusan Air Selangor Sdn Bhd said the Sungai Semenyih and Bukit Tampoi water treatment plants had to completely stop operations due to pollution detected in Sungai Semenyih, which is the raw water source for these plants. The cessation of operations for these plants will affect 274 areas, where 309,687 consumers will experience unscheduled water supply disruptions across 4 districts, which are Petaling, Hulu Langat, Kuala Langat and Sepang. In a statement, Air Selangor Head of Corporate Communications, Alina Basuri, said it has reported this incident to the Selangor Water Management Authority, LUAS. It said that it could not provide an expected time frame of when the water treatment plants could start operating again and water supply would resume as normal. Air Selangor has activated its emergency response plan in order to provide assistance to affected consumers and will inform developments regarding this incident from time to time via all medium, especially the mass media. Consumers were urged to refer to the Air Selangor app and website, as well as its official social media channels including Facebook, Twitter and Instagram for updates on the situation. University Sultan Zainal Abidin or UNISZA will be closed for 3 days starting today after one of its staff tested positive for COVID-19 in the campus in Gong Badak, Kuala Nerus. According to its Vice-Chancellor, Professor Datuk Dr. Hassan Basri Awang Madahan, this is to enable the conduction of comprehensive sanitation operations throughout campus. The COVID-19 positive employee has a history of air travel from Kuala Lumpur to Terengganu and boarded the same flight with a returnee from Sabah who was later diagnosed with COVID-19. Following the case, 14 other UNISA personnel were traced as close contacts of the patient and have since been placed under surveillance and quarantine directed by the Ministry of Health. Meanwhile, all other UNISA employees were instructed to work from home until Wednesday as a precautionary measure. For the duration of the university closing, lectures will be continued online. All programs, meetings and workshops have been postponed until the situation returns to normal. 2 new COVID-19 clusters emerged yesterday, dubbed the Kausing cluster in Sabah and the Ambon cluster in Selangor. According to Health Director General Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham Abdullah, 7 individuals have tested positive so far for the Kausing cluster, which is in Tawau, involving 5 Malaysians and 2 non-Malaysians. The index case for this cluster is a 29-year-old man who tested positive for COVID-19 via screening for symptomatic individuals on 25th September and was admitted to Tawau Hospital. Following that, close contact screening was carried out and 6 more COVID-19 cases had been identified and admitted to Tawau Hospital. Meanwhile, for the Ambon cluster in Hulu Langat, Tan Sri Dr. Nur Hisham said the index case for this cluster was a 41-year-old man. He tested positive for COVID-19 via screening for symptomatic individuals on 29th September and was admitted to Sungai Buloh Hospital. A close contact screening detected another 4 positive cases linked to him. There are currently 34 active clusters in the country, of which a majority are in Sabah, Kedah and Selangor. Now, the Health Ministry is prepared to reactivate the low-risk quarantine and treatment centres nationwide if the number of new COVID-19 cases continues to rise. Its Minister, Datuk Sri Dr. Adham Baba, said there were 36 centres that are ready to be reactivated nationwide, which mostly comprises the Ministry's training institutes. He said these centres have a total capacity of 3,467 beds and were earlier deactivated when the number of cases declined. Datuk Sri Dr. Adham said the Health Ministry would also discuss with other ministries to turn their training institutes into similar centres if the need arises.
Kalau kes bertambah, kita cuma activate saja, reactivate. Sebelum ni kan kes dah turun, jadi kita deactivate. Now kalau ada penambahan, kita activate balik. Kita aktifkan balik. Dan dia siap sedia di semua negara, di satu negara.
He added that at the moment there are 907 patients being treated at these centres, which means that only 26% of the capacity is being used. He also said that the ministry would continue to enhance its surveillance and monitoring capabilities in order to trace new cases quicker. Datuk Sri Dr. Adham added that the country's laboratories, including private ones, have a total capacity to process 39,000 swab tests a day. He was speaking to the media after officiating the closing of a town hall session with the new norms with Kombi, Communication for Behavioural Impact leaders in Kota Tinggi, Johor. Datuk Sri Dr. Adham said the ministry would utilise Kombi teams, which were usually used to combat dengue fever, to raise awareness and educate the community about the COVID-19 new norms. Minister at the Prime Minister's Department of Religious Affairs, Datuk Dr. Zulkifli Muhammad Al-Bakri, announced the distribution of Musaadah Khas Siswa from Tabung Musaadah COVID-19 for residents of higher education colleges. It is then channelled to students from families in the B40 groups and the needy.
Bantuan khas kepada siswa, hari ini insya-Allah kita akan cuba bantu UiTM Shah Alam dan juga UKM. Di mana sumbangan oleh Yadim, oleh PPZ dan juga daripada agensi-agensi agama, terutamanya pelajar-pelajar yang terkandas atau yang baru sampai, yang mungkin nak pulang dan seumpamanya, kita akan cuba bantu seupaya mungkin insya-Allah.
The first series of the Musaadah Khas Siswa consists of 50,000 ringgit to help students of UiTM Shah Alam and UKM Bangi. Coming up, Malaysia hopes the US will accept FGV's explanation. Malaysia is hoping that the United States will accept FGV Holding Berhad's explanation in regarding to allegations of forced labour, which had prompted the US Customs and Border Protection, or CBP, agency to ban palm oil imports from the company. Minister in the Prime Minister's Department, Datuk Sri Mustafa Muhammad, noted that it was not the first time that such allegations had been made.
Kementerian berkenaan sudah pun memulakan tindakan. Kita perlu pertahankan kedudukan kita. Ya. Isunya katanya ialah forced labour, buruh paksa, dan penjelasan telah diberikan oleh pihak FGV dan syarikat-syarikat lain, dan kita perlu terus menyatakan pendidikan kita dan kerajaan bagi syarikat.
Explaining further, Datuk Sri Mustafa said the manufacturing sector had also faced similar allegations. He said, however, the issue was resolved after an explanation was provided to the U.S. Customs and Border Protection, CBP. In relation to the ban, the CBP agency was reported as saying that a year-long investigation revealed restriction of movement, isolation, physical and sexual violence, intimidation and threats, retention of identity documents, withholding of wages, debt bondage, abusive working and living conditions, and excessive overtime. Police have arrested 5 individuals suspected of being involved with Gang Fizzy that has been active with house-breaking activities in Kuala Muda in an operation conducted in Baling, Sungai Petani in Kedah and Kuala Lumpur. Now, the same group was also believed to be involved with a house-breaking case in Bandar Utama, Sungai Petani, causing a loss of about 2 million ringgit. Kuala Muda District Police Chief ACP Azli Abu Shah said the 5 men, aged between 26 and 56, were nabbed between 19th September and 1st October. ACP Azli said following the arrests, police recovered 105,000 of petty cash, 12 branded handbags and various tools believed to have been used to break into houses. Investigations show that the main suspect, in his 30s, has 37 criminal records, including on drugs. 2 of the suspects also tested positive for methamphetamine. ACP Azli said the police are still looking for a local woman believed to be linked to the gang. The 5 suspects have been remanded from 19th September to 9th October for investigations. 4 districts in Kedah have been identified as high flash flood risk zones in the shifting of the northeast monsoon winds beginning 24th September to early November. The Malaysian Meteorological Department forecasts heavy rain starting 6th to the 9th of October. According to Kedah Disaster Management Department Secretariat Lieutenant Colonel Awang Askandar Ampuan Yaakob, the high-risk areas are Baling, Kulim, Bandar Baru and Kuala Muda. The situation is expected to be exacerbated by high tides predicted to occur in Kuala Muda on 17th, 18th and 19th October. To face this possible threat, 5,598 officers and personnel of all Secretariat agencies, including assets, have prepared for various possibilities until northeast monsoon winds subside at the end of March next year. A group of fishermen successfully caught an estuarine crocodile in a river near Kampung Ladang Sentosa, Tepuh, Terengganu. The reptile, which measured over 2 meters long and weighing 70 kilograms, was reported to have attacked one of the fishermen before it was caught. Terengganu Civil Defence Force Director Lieutenant Colonel Che Adam Abdul Rahman said a team of APM personnel was immediately dispatched to the location after receiving information on the catch. The crocodile was handed over to the Department of Wildlife and National Parks, Peninsula Malaysia, Perhilitan at the APM Kuala Nerus office.
Kebarangkalian reptilia ataupun binatang-binatang yang menjalar ini boleh keluar daripada habitat asal untuk mencari kawasan-kawasan yang baru. Sebab kita tahu apabila hujan lebat dalam tempoh yang pendek boleh mengakibatkan air bertakung dengan banyak yang menyebabkan habitat mereka terganggu. Dan salah satu tempatnya di kawasan-kawasan lubang seperti ular sawa, ular tedung dan sebagainya, termasuklah reptilia seperti hari ini yang tangkapan semalam iaitu buaya tembaga berkepala.
The catching of the estuarine crocodile was the first occurrence in the state in 3 years. And that concludes today's edition of Updates at Noon. In our top story today, AIS Selangor identified source of contamination in water treatment plants. Tune in to News at 10 coming up at 10 p.m. on Saluran Berita RTM on My Free Views channel 123. You can also stream the news by surfing RTM's MyClick. I'm Mohana Priya. Thanks for your company.